I got a DM,
Mhm.
dude. That I know what we've been talking about for the last like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Is being left on red.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh no.
I gotta confess.
I mean, yeah, sure, it was a little weird, but on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. Dude, you cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.
Oh, yo, dude, I'm back. We're back at it, buddy.
We're back.
Dude, you see what I'm wearing right now?
I do.
I just gotta. All right, it's the Atlanta Braves. What is this? A jersey?
Mhm.
Where do you rank jerseys? Do you wear them? Would you wear a jersey?
Like I'm a like pool day jersey guy, I think.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go football. Can't go hockey because those are winter sports.
Right.
Basketball.
Yeah, you can wear a basketball jersey to the pool or to the beach.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like around bodies of water is when I'm breaking
Wearing
out
new
jerseys.
jerseys.
Yeah.
Let's rank the places to not wear a jersey?
Yeah, dude.
A funeral.
Number one.
Number one. A
Survey
funeral.
says 100 people
funeral.
said funeral.
I was thinking about because I was at a funeral maybe 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I saw a guy. There was like in the park. There was like a lifted truck with like those like they had those truck nuts on the back.
Yes.
And it had some kind of like bumper sticker like. I think the car. You got to think about it. Could this be in the parking lot of a funeral
Nice.
or in a funeral procession?
Yeah. Oh,
You
that's
can't-
Depends
you
on whose funeral.
Yeah, maybe it's like Paul Walker, dude.
Oh no, dude.
Or somebody that like like you're like, hey, is this going to get me to A to B? Is this going to be a reliable vehicle? Also, would this be okay? That's like a jersey. I get like, I would say that you're like, this is going to explode. Like, I love jerseys. All right, well, where you shouldn't win a job interview.
Yes.
Probably shouldn't wear a jersey to a
Yep.
job interview.
Yep. I would add wedding.
A wedding, you should wear a
course.
jersey. Yeah. Well, let's rank the jerseys.
Okay.
Number one, Number one inappropriate jersey would be a basketball jersey
Yeah.
because it's sleeveless.
Right.
You shouldn't wear that anywhere.
No.
A man wearing another man's a basketball jersey, unless you're playing basketball
Or you're gonna take it off to like again the
Yeah,
pool
yeah, yeah.
thing. Like
playing basketball. Well, playing basketball is kind of not.
I don't like a jersey.
Yeah,
when
but I
you're
don't like a
playing
jersey
basketball.
playing basketball because you're not as good as who are you gonna wear that it's not a cocky?
Yeah.
This is an NBA player.
Have you ever seen the people pull up to play and they're like in the full uniform?
Yeah,
Like they have the team shorts too.
Full MJ. Yeah, with the Kobe sleeves.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because you're playing on the streets. You're
Mhm.
like you're obviously not good. You're like wearing Michael Jordan shoes.
Right.
Can't do that. Yeah, full jersey. Yeah, you can't because you have to wear somebody popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like who's on the end of the bench for the Atlanta Hawks? Like you're not. Somebody goes, who's that? It has to be recognizable, and you're not that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's take playing the sport out then.
Yes.
Wearing-
you cannot wear it to play the sport.
To play the sport.
Yep.
Okay, so the number one obviously place that you could wear it is to go
to go to the game.
to go to the game.
You could make the
Right?
argument. I think that's the only place you should wear it.
Yeah, yeah. I did a podcast last week from the announcer for the Titans, and he gave me a Titans jersey.
Nice.
I
Frame it. Put it on the wall.
no, not of me, of the one of their draft picks.
That's cool.
I'd wear it to the game.
Sure.
Even that now, I probably wouldn't wear a Titans jersey to a Titans game. I wouldn't do
I
that.
think they get framed.
Yeah.
I think frame it, put it on the wall. Or
Titans jersey. Can you wear your own jersey if you are the player? You wear it out?
There were stories about
Yeah, that's kind of
Carlos Gonzalez, baseball guy, used to wear his own jersey like when he would go to restaurants
I
and
respect
stuff
it.
around
Can you
town.
pull that up? Can you see if I can find
Because
that?
people would be like, "There's no way he's wearing his own jersey, so there's no way that's him."
That's
and
like
so
me wearing
people
my
would
own
approach him.
merch.
Yeah, kind of.
I design it like my John Chris Racing T-shirt. I design it because I would like to wear it. I like this is a
Yeah.
sick shirt, but then I can't wear it because it's mine.
Right.
Unless I'm going to like would there be like news about him or something? Wouldn't there be?
This is an old story. This is when
Yeah.
I was growing up. So I mean,
Jersey Carlos says on his jersey. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I would say, let me think. Well, football jerseys are tough.
they used to be really like it was a big fashion piece, like in hip hop and in the like
The
late
basketball
'90s, early
jerseys.
2000s. Football jerseys too. Like
Yeah,
again, they were always oversized, so it was
yeah, they're
always it was
and you
really
gotta have the ones
baggy.
with the loose sleeves. You can't have the
Yeah.
tight with the like shoulder pad. Like, dude, just wear it. dang it, bro, this looks insane.
Yeah.
Some of them, they had like the elastic on the sleeves for like the pads.
Yeah.
I go, dude, you're not on the team.
Yeah.
Football jersey. Yeah, we're gonna go funeral, job interview, and then we're gonna go date.
Yes, definitely not on a date.
A date. I don't know all women.
Unless the date is to the game.
I speak on behalf of all women.
Yeah, most often.
In this case, I do.
Right.
Never wear a jersey unless. When could you wear unless to the game?
To the game. To the game, maybe to the bar if it's like a viewing party type deal.
As like a bowl game, we're going down.
That's why we're going
to Broadway.
Yeah,
we're gonna go watch the game somewhere.
Right. Maybe
a jersey. Oh man! All right, hockey jersey. I mean, those are a little bit bigger, sweater type situation. But football, baseball is the most socially acceptable one.
It's also more functional too because you can unbutton it,
button
and
down,
wear like that.
Yeah,
like you can have different looks
yeah.
with it.
Yeah, a jersey. Is there any other jerseys of any other sports? No one else. Soccer jersey. Oh, that used to be unfortunately that used to be popular and now it's not.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The soccer jersey.
Oh
thing?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, I forgot.
I had a Beckham jersey. I had a Ronaldo jersey.
Did. Soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big. Well, I think. Well, I want to talk about that in a second. About trends, but the reason I'm wearing this,
yes,
is very important. I got a DM, dude. That I know we've been talking about for the last like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
is being left on red.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh no.
I gotta confess.
Okay.
I have to confess. I got a DM from Dylan Lee. Look up Dylan Lee, Atlanta Braves.
How are you spelling Dylan?
Dylan. Dang it, dude. It's like a relief pitcher. A relief pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Okay, there he is. Yeah. Yep. Comes out of the bullpen, still plays for us. So I spent like the last 3 weeks on this podcast making fun of people that DM'd celebrities. Or not like, all right. And I got a DM from Dylan Lee.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 3:16 p.m. This would be, I guess, it's the day of the podcast, the day after we recorded. Yeah. And he said, oh, goodness, this is the absolute L of a lifetime for me. I guess not, because it kind of redeems itself. Okay, this is not Vin Diesel. This is not Kevin Hart. This is not Tom Hanks. This is a relief pitcher for the baseball team that I like.
Yeah, he's 27 years old.
Yeah. And he's
like, a kid who's good at throwing a ball.
Yeah, okay. So in game 5 of the World Series, we have 4, in essence, we have 4 starting pitchers. And game 5 was like, I don't know, I'm not getting these stats wrong, but it's called a bullpen start. So meaning we're just going to throw out a bunch of pitchers to pitch an inning. And Dylan Lee started the game in the World Series.
Yep.
And got rocked.
Yeah.
I don't think if he listens, I'll probably send it to him. Maybe not. He got rocked.
Yep.
I said,
no,
I know,
come on.
Dude, I DM'd him.
Come on, dude. What did you say?
I said,
oh no, John.
I'm crying, dude. I'm crying.
This is so bad.
I would roast any. This is a TikTok trend. We talked about that last week, didn't we?
Yes.
Girls go through their guys' DMs.
Yeah.
Like, I wish you would have found like him texting women, but it was like, hey, dude. I said, shh. I was like, I have to talk about this in the podcast. It's the most embarrassing thing ever. I said on October the 30th at 8:52 p.m. This is the day of the game. During the game.
Yeah.
Hey. Hey, dude, I said, no shame in that start, my man. Proud of you, bro.
Nice, dude. I thought it was going the other way for sure.
What?
I thought for sure you were going to be like, you suck.
Oh, no. I would never say that. I would never say that. I would never say that.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, but no, this is worse. This is way worse, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Come on,
it is.
Why?
To say, dude, you are terrible, that's more, I mean... I would never say that. I would always, yeah. I always find myself, especially people in public figures, when like they're getting, people are lumping on them. I always have empathy in my. That sounds too Christian, but like I feel empathy for them.
Yeah.
He is a relief pitcher. They're like, dude, we're giving you the ball in the World Series. That you could any
foreign scenario. He's not a starter,
and he got rocked.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
all right.
hard.
And I said,
his second year in the league, by the way.
yeah, and he was walking
First
off
year.
the field.
Yeah.
In a sold out game of the world, like, and he's like, dude, I can't speak for him, but I felt some kind of way.
Yeah.
I felt some kind of way watching that, and this is why you shouldn't be able to DM people.
Did he answer?
Anyway, well, the reason I bring this up because that was October 30th at 8:52 p.m. Tuesday, August 18th. I get a message. Just saw this message. Thank you. Dude.
Almost a year later.
Let it go.
Oh,
Dude, don't bring my trauma back up. Dude.
Did you totally forget you sent it?
Yes. I was crushing people on this podcast for 3 weeks about doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, dude, if you got to, like, just absolute tough. But we went on to like chat for a second.
Cool.
But and he said,
you had to dig yourself out of that.
yeah, he said, I think me and Spencer Strider saw you throughout the first pitch at the game. He's a big fan of yours. And then we went on to talk about, I've got a buddy that plays for them. And then we went, and then he like, now he's like watching my stories and like commenting.
Nice.
So it is like
so you got a friendship out of it.
Now we're buddies now.
Hey.
But that's just an absolute L, dude.
I just saw this. My bad.
That's even
Thanks.
like this is a funny story. Alana Springsteen, who is a country artist here in town, that like my buddy Dallas and Ernest, and we all like Mitchell Tenpenny toured with her.
Yeah.
And so we were at the Iowa State Fair together. And I never met her. And I was like, well, oh, I know her. And they were like, well, I go, well, I don't know her, but like, I don't know her, but I know her.
Yeah.
Like, we know, like we follow, or I don't know. I like Dallas writes with her all the time, and she was on tour with Mitchell. And we like, I was like, all right, well, where's, like, we're both on the same stage.
Yeah.
Like my green room's here, her green room's here.
Yep.
And I was like, well, where's her green room at? And then, so I just like knocked on the door, and then we like chatted for a second. But you don't know him.
Right.
But you're like, well, I think I know him.
Yeah.
But then you like follow on the internet, and you're like, that's how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, I don't know. Like,
It should be called something different almost.
What?
Like it should just be called, we're connected online or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but the like security guard was like, I was like, no, dude, but you can't just knock on somebody's green room. I wouldn't want that on mine.
Right.
So you got to be like, wow. But then when we like, you're like, oh, what's up? And you're both kind of, you share this kind of similar. You do the same thing for a living,
right?
And you're both at the Iowa State Fair. Yeah, you're like hanging on for dear life. It's like, oh, what's up? And they're like, what's up? They're like, oh, this is, yeah. But I guess I felt the same way with Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, I don't know, I know how it goes or something.
I mean, you have, in your defense, you have performed on the same stage on that mound. You both have.
We both have.
There, so
yeah. We both have not thrown a strike, but we both have thrown up there. Yeah. That was an L for me. But I guess not. I guess, should you respond after all that time, or just let it go?
I think a response is nice. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, I just saw this a year later.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, otherwise,
you guys are friends now.
But that's funny that I would have never remembered I did that.
Right.
And that's the crazy about like a lot of people get on and come on the internet and go hard on top of things. Like, dude, you've done this.
I just love that happened this week. Like,
what are the odds?
As we're going through all this DM stuff.
Oh, I got to talk about this in the podcast immediately.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Speaking of the Braves.
Yeah.
We talked about because, dude, we have a lot of guy fans.
We do.
We always, when did this come up? Day one?
Yeah, episode 1, I think.
Because we were talking about, how did that come up? We just talked about like 85% of my following is female.
Yeah.
But the podcast is trending differently.
It is. Yeah. It's a different
it's still
audience.
The majority women, but a lot of dudes are coming around.
Yeah.
So we got to do things for the fellas. But the Braves, this is 2 sports topics up front. the ladies are like, when can we talk about? Let's see, what do women want to talk about?
What we usually talk
When
about.
can we talk
apparently.
about Harry Styles? Yeah. Marcus Azuna. Marcel. Is that Marcel Azuna? Marcel. Yeah, Marcus. What did I say? Marcel Azuna from the Atlanta Braves got. I was watching this coverage and he got a DUI. Was it last weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he came back to play, and then everybody booed him.
Well,
and I thought to myself, in what scenario would you boo a sports person?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a great question.
I mean, all right. If my player lost the game, I would never. Would you never boo someone on their on-field performance? Well, you would. I guess everybody does.
I personally would not.
I wouldn't. My own team.
Yeah.
I wrote a chapter about this in my book about what's his name? We talked about this before about the guy from the Sixers, Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody was booing him.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't shoot free throws, and we were just, boo, you suck. And then he's like, mentally, he's like struggling.
Yeah.
You're like, because you look at a guy that gets a DUI.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, not living the dream. He's having a tough time.
Yeah.
Anyone that
Tough week.
tough life.
Sure.
That you go and to when he comes back, who are you? That's just wild to go to the game and sit in the stands and be like, Marcelo Zonia didn't do what for you? Perform the best that you're like up or down on the guy.
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been emotionally invested enough to take it to that level.
Now
where I'm gonna exclaim. You know what I mean? Like,
I am into
somebody.
the like razzing of the opponent.
Okay.
And like, but not because of their person. Like a razzing the like, oh, like if like what's his name from the Bucks took a long time to shoot free throws. And you have 10 seconds.
Right.
And he was like, and we were like 10, 9, 8. I could be wrong, but I think as a someone that is ingesting sports, likes the entertainment, that is I don't think he's going home and being like depressed over that.
No, that's part of the game.
That's what I'm saying.
I would guess if you really dug into it too, he'd probably be like, "I'm honored that the fans care that much. That's
think
fantastic."
So. I think that way about my comedy.
Yeah,
is like you're doing something public. If someone is like, I'm against it, or like a lot of times in my comment sections, people are battling it out. Like I am okay with that.
Yeah,
like in this we posted. It's almost my Instagram is about to go over 10 million views on that Chick-fil-A thing.
Wow,
which is wild.
Wow,
not 10 million. So sorry, the Dollar General, but the Chick-fil-A one is like 3 million or something, which you posted last week.
Yeah,
and everybody was like going back and forth about like racism.
Yep.
And I go, I'm okay with that discussion.
Yeah,
it's not like John Crist is a
They're not booing you,
and not coming after me to say something about Azonia's personal. Like if you were going to a baseball game and you loved the team and a guy struck out, let's say how many times in a row would he have to strike out for you to finally say to the ownership, we gotta get, and we love the guy. He's got a great family. We're not saying that, but if the ownership, like, we have to be like, hey, we can't, this guy's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody gets there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I think so. I get what you're saying. I think for me, it's like I've personally struggled with performance anxiety in athletics at a high level. So I get that. Like where you feel helpless out there and you're like, oh dang, I'm drowning. Help. Please throw me a line.
And you're like,
because I can't do this anymore. So that
to,
prevents me personally from trying to do it. But that said, if I'm just like, if I'm at a sporting event, I'm having a good time, I'll be yelling, I guess. But I think like booing somebody based on their performance, unless it's really, really, really bad, I don't know, man.
I don't think I ever would.
No.
Not my, because you go, what are they? So he was in the lineup and they were like, you don't think the ownership knows what they're doing?
Of course. They knew about the DUI before anybody.
Yeah. And they were like, you don't think they, like, the idea that I know better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I guess he guys goes out there and strikes out 100 times. The idea of booing is the idea that the general manager that has and the owners that have millions, billions invested in this team, you're saying, I know better than them.
But you know what, though? I will say, though, the ownership at that level doesn't always have the same motives as the fans.
Yes,
the fans want to win.
Yeah.
Now.
And we want to, like,
because we're at the game now.
Yeah. And if you want to build him back up to be, like, more better, so then you can trade him. Yeah. Or you're going to put him down to the minor leagues, or there's a whatever position he plays. There's another there's like a million things going on that you don't know.
Yeah. He's also a stud.
I saw his car in the that he was one of those cars. It was like a gold-plated Lambo.
Right.
He's a freak, dude.
Let me see what his numbers look like.
I mean, no, he's not. I don't think he's doing great this year. Got to look at the numbers.
Yeah, he's not playing well this year.
But bro, this is our premise from last week. It was on the you can do whatever you want as long as you're what?
Oh, do what you want when you pop it. Yeah. Future.
Do what you want when you pop it.
A lot of people had a problem with that, by the way.
They did?
Yeah, a lot of people had a problem with it because they were like, are you co-signing being an a-hole, basically, was what they were looking for. And it's like, no, but it is the facts, though.
It's the facts, unfortunately.
You don't have to like it, but...
You know, if Deshaun Watson was not good at football, you would not heard a word of it.
See ya.
Bye, dude. A long time.
In fact, it probably happened to a bunch of rookies before that. Yes. They got rid of them. We just didn't hear about it.
Who? What's his name? Never heard of him.
No.
Never heard of him. How many touchdowns did he throw in his first? Well, you know what? Maybe we can work something out.
Yeah.
We can work something out. That's funny. We just went back just got back from Springfield, Missouri.
Nice. How was it?
We did the Iowa State Fair in Springfield, Missouri. Just middle America. We just took it all in.
Love that.
I'm big in middle America, dude. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if we should get a dot map of this podcast.
We could do that.
I bet it's right in the center.
Yeah, I know
like
Atlanta's
New York and
a big
LA.
one.
It's like all in the middle.
Atlanta's a big one for you.
And I'll go to middle America any day of the week, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comics that are like, dude, I don't want to go to Springfield, Missouri. I'm like, dude, I sold out 5 shows in Springfield, Missouri. I'll go.
Yeah.
I said, you get this reference? I said, I was like, a lot of comics wouldn't come to Springfield, Missouri, but I felt like I'm like Jonah out here in this city. You know, Jonah and the whale.
Yeah.
Like God was like, he said, I don't want to go to this city of Nineveh.
The Ninevites, yeah.
And God was like, Jonah, you got to go. He's like, no one else will go.
So he just keeps sending you back.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you got to go to, no one else wants to go to Springfield. Yeah. Speaking of, we're in, this weekend, we're in Boston. Then I'm gonna do the accent of all these cities.
Boston.
This weekend we're in Boston. Next weekend we're in Greensboro. Then we're in Appleton, Wisconsin. Appleton, Wisconsin. Spokane, Washington. New Brunswick, New Jersey. That's a terrible accent. Virginia Beach, is that the South? Virginia Beach is not the South.
Probably not the
Dayton,
beach,
Ohio.
No.
We in Greenville, South Carolina. Dude, we're coming to Irvine. Dude, it's so sick, dude. Irvine, California. Palm Beach, Miami. I think those are sold out. Anyway, dude. Yeah. You know what I had the wildest conversation with Derek Stroop. Derek, who has been on this podcast before.
Yep.
This guy said, and this guy's mind just works different.
He's so funny, man.
His mind works different. He goes, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I've just been getting into? The Office. I go, what?
Wake up.
The Office?
Yeah.
I go, we've been on The Office, dude. Like, he's like, I don't know. It's like Game of Thrones. Are you into it?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I'm not into it.
Okay. That new spinoff just came out, too.
Did it?
House of the Dragon, I think it's called. It just premiered last night.
It just came out. Yeah.
I got to catch up on it. But The Office.
What's that guy's name that I follow?
Is OG, man.
Connor Wood. I follow this guy. Oh, man. It's going to be. All right. I follow this guy on Instagram. Hilarious. This was this morning. He said he said, I miss when Game of Thrones was keeping that group of people busy.
Well, they just got a new show.
Tweet.
Yeah,
that's an unbelievable tweet. I saw that this morning. I died, dude.
That group of people.
I miss when Game of Thrones was keeping that group of people busy. That's just hilarious.
Can we give them something else to
meaning like,
please?
Hey, I miss they were just over there.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that. Who is that group of people?
I mean, I'm in it, so that's tough.
All right, I'm not in it.
I mean, it's
but the Game of what has it been gone for a while?
Yeah, I also think people don't understand what Game of Thrones is because I didn't get it before I watched it. I always thought it was like fantasy and like all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
That's not your thing.
Yeah.
Derek said He's been going on all weekend about The Office, about how it's just unbelievable.
The American one with Steve Carell.
Yes.
Okay.
He goes,
Where has he been?
Where have you been? He goes, I don't know. He's like, I'm one of those guys that don't like things when other people like them. I was like, all right, that's fair. I'm kind of like that, similar. But what's wild about The Office is because now, when did that show run? It ended, I want to say, I'm going to guess 2014 ended. Not 20. There it is. Went from when to when?
First episode 2005
and it went
201
2013.
episodes.
I said, all right, there it is. 2013, 2005, 2013.
Wow.
Okay. It's like, I've talked about this before. It's like Steph Curry is a transcendent basketball player because he came along at the perfect time, right? If he would have come along in the 80s, he would have just gotten beat. Well, they say that's maybe like a hack thing to say.
Sure.
Dude, is this another sports premise?
It might be.
Dang, 3 for 3. Not really. And then
It was the game was played differently at that time, though.
we're gonna get after this. We're gonna get to the Enneagram.
Okay.
So women.
So sit tight.
Yeah,
women, we're coming back.
White girls sit tight.
Go grab some tea. Come back.
Steph Curry was a perfect basketball player because he was small, and the rules were perfect at the time, and the way people play basketball. He was the first guy to do it, and no one knew what to do, and still don't. And he's an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
But now they're catching on to everybody does that. Everybody fires threes, and that's he changed the game. Tiger Woods changed the game.
Yep.
All the golf courses like we got to make these things longer because this guy's just bombing these things he's hitting it through the woods. So like the office, we were talking about how The Office could never be made now in 2022 because all those like jokes about Oscar,
yes,
and jokes about Stanley and all the racial things,
yep,
and they were like it can never be made now because the culture of that's. But what I said is I go, it could because Michael Scott says all these things that are wildly inappropriate.
Yeah,
that are like I can't believe that's why it's so funny,
right?
Because he's so out of touch. But I said, and what do you think about this? That show could also not be made in the 90s because that was everyone's boss. And they didn't think that wouldn't be funny.
My mom had to stop watching The Office because she had in the past worked for some people that were like Steve Carell.
Yes.
And she was like, I can't do this. This is real.
Yes.
This is
so the reason
PTSD almost.
The Office was 2003 to 2013, whatever it was, 2005 to 2013. So the only reason that was funny at the time is because from the 90s to 2003, we had progressed.
Yes.
So
just
now,
enough.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Where that now became inappropriate, like saying racial or homophobic things.
Yeah.
So that the Office in the 90s, no one would have gotten the humor.
That's so funny.
It came at the perfect.
They like captured lightning in a bottle. Like they had it perfect.
Things had progressed enough where you're like, hey, like the HR, and like you can't say that at the Office. But 10 years prior, you could say that at the Office.
Right.
So Steve Carell was just a guy that didn't come along.
Right.
And he's saying things about women's bodies and like about racial things, and they were like, that's why it's so funny.
Yes.
Because we go, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, are you like
if the Office was made today, it would actually be one of the documentaries we talked about last week, where it was like pointing out the things you can't do in the Office. You could make a documentary about The Office. Yeah, you'd be like, I can't believe. Well, that's what the whole premise of the show was. You remember it was a documentary. Like that was how they positioned it. There's a film crew in the office,
and it's like a small like in like a northeastern city.
Yep,
Scranton,
Pennsylvania.
They like probably not as like you go to New York City, maybe they've progressed, but like that like. But what people don't understand is. You're joking like you post one of those Office clips, it would be taken off of Instagram now for like hate speech.
Right.
But you're like, no, the point of the joke is saying Michael Scott is wrong.
Right.
They're not saying they're being like, hey, this is why this is funny because you can't do this.
What he's saying is not funny. The fact that he says it and how ridiculously out of bounds it is why it's funny.
But yes. Why it's funny, but where did you start getting those ideas that like you can't pick a black guy first for the basketball team just because he's black? That didn't even come into a lot of people's brain till right around then.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you start to just like in the 2000s is just starting to become like woke or progressive enough to be like, oh, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this show comes along and people are still doing it.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
I was never in the workplace back then either, so I didn't get it at the time, but I've gone back and watched the show, and it's definitely like now that I have work experience of, 8 years, it's like, oh, I get, that was happening in the real world.
Like, but Michael Scott, who is it? Your mom, your aunt?
My mom.
So this is real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I can't do, she could, and to be clear, she couldn't handle the incompetence, not so much the humor that was there.
So frustrating.
Just that he was so terribly equipped to do that job.
And then like the first I worked a desk job, there was a girl that had she was like it was like a temp worker. They hired her from somewhere. And we weren't big, we had 12, 13 employees, so there's no handbook, there was no HR, there was just like people in an office.
Very startup vibe.
And then but startups have like,
before it was cool to be a
startups
startup.
are like trendy and they have like plans.
Right.
We were just like, hey, we need another person to like get the phones, like just get something. So this girl was coming in with like these like, she went in these like tank tops.
Yep.
That were just like, oh man, just you did not.
They were stumbling blocks.
No, because she wasn't attractive.
Okay,
but it was just like, I don't know what her name was. Let's say Jill or something like that. We're like, okay, Jill's here, and it was like it was inappropriate.
Yeah,
but why? Or like, and who's gonna say, don't wear that?
Yeah,
because you hope everyone is following the rules, and then this person is like, I grew up differently.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just come like, I'm here.
Was she popping? Was she good at her job? Because then she can do what she wants.
No, she was not good at the job. Yeah, she was. I was like, what do you mean popping? Yeah. Okay. When you pop and you can do what you want.
Do what you want.
Yeah. If she was like if she was selling like unbelievable amount of sales, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
She'd be like, hey, you can go work from home. You can work from the picnic table outside. You can do whatever you want if you pop it.
We'll buy you the tank tops, whatever you need.
So there was a discussion because it was a male CEO and like all the like highest level of like leadership was men, but there was like women, like the guy can't go to her.
Right.
So you're like trying to get this other girl that like has worked there. And then they sent out like a company-wide email about like dress code. Like, oh, okay.
Could have just went right to her.
This is only for her. Yeah. And she was yelling at me one time in the office. This is unbelievable. She was yelling at me one time in the office. And then there was some kind of like disagreement about something. And then she said, we were like, dude, you got to get your life together. And she said she had voice modulation disorder. So she didn't know she was yelling. So we couldn't like get mad at her.
Is that a thing?
Look it up. I don't know.
Voice modulation disorder.
I was like, no, you're just yelling. You have voice modulation disorder. Yeah, see, there it is. And the first thing is from China. Yeah. Oh, voice.
The first thing's an SNL skit.
Yeah. Do you suffer from voice
There we go.
modulation?
Johns Hopkins Medicine. Voice disorders. Modulation. This is
voice modulation.
Such invigorating content for everybody who's just hearing
Hopkins Medicine. Or like she was saying, so she was yelling at me, and then she said like she couldn't control her voice.
Interesting.
And she didn't know she was. I was like, okay, no. Now you can just do whatever you want. Voice modulation disorder. I still remember that. That was 15 years ago. All right, you go from a whisper to soft to conversation to loud to yelling. She said she could not.
She couldn't differentiate.
Yeah, which is a lie.
There's no way that's real.
Yeah, that's real, dude.
Come on, dude.
Next time, hey, everybody listen to the podcast. Next time you're ever in an argument with somebody and you're like, and your spouse is like, you were yelling. You're like, I have voice modulation disorder.
Yeah. I have VMD.
I have VMD. Yeah. Speaking of the, that was my joke about the Enneagram.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Women, tune back in. Here we go.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, where have these? What is a stereotypical joke that we can say? Where these women have been? What have they been doing for the last 15 minutes? They were watching The Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking at uploading TikToks.
Nice.
Everybody uploads TikToks.
Yeah.
That's not fair. They like to. Women like. I think my followers like. I asked. Actually, this is interesting. I asked at the show because I joke about. As soon as I get, like, if you're off your phone for this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we wrap and you get back in your car, what social media app you going to first?
Instagram.
You're going to Instagram first.
Yep.
Then what? You go through
just Instagram.
That's it.
Yeah, because I TikTok's a time waster for me. Like I'm scrolling on TikTok. Instagram.
All right, but you see, you're laying in bed and it's Sunday afternoon, and TikTok. Instagram has done what it's, and you never go to Facebook.
It's TikTok. No, it's
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
Snapchat.
No.
No Facebook. YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. I guess I don't really throw that one in there, but yeah. YouTube.
You don't search. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a joke. I was like, the first thing I go to is Venmo.
Nice.
Or that Venmo feed is fired. It's a joke, but like, dude, this is so. I go, this is more intimate than OnlyFans.
Yeah, you can see what people are paying to who.
That's wild. What? Yeah. I go, this is unbelievable. I don't know how. I go, don't follow me on Instagram after the show. Find me on Venmo. I'm big on Venmo. I'm big on Venmo.
Yeah.
The Venmo feed is wild, but they got rid of the amount of money.
Okay.
I think they got rid of the amount of money. So you just see
that people are paying.
Yeah, you just see who are they paying. You see who are they paying and what are they paying for.
Interesting.
And this is people.
I have mine set to private.
Okay, you do.
Yeah. All
these things are public, dude. And these are people that used to be in my phone, but they're not in my phone anymore. I mean, these are wildly. This is, yeah. You know what's a hack joke is that people put in there like sex jokes.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, paid for okay, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, funny. They're still kind of funny. The Venmo fee is wild. But what I said about the Enneagram and what I've said, I think in comedy, this speaks to a bigger issue. Do you know the guy from the Babylon Bee?
Mm-hmm.
He was on Rogan.
He was on Rogan.
He was on Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was talking about things that, and he's like a Christian religious guy.
Yeah,
he's talking about the ideas that need to be mocked.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that in a society that like for a healthy society to grow, things need to be mocked, like. Because everybody sends this stuff to me. That's why, in a lot of ways, comedians exist, and people send me stuff all day, every day.
Right.
Hey, like mock this.
Yeah.
Or like
do your thing.
Yeah. But I wonder what the mock. Like, look up the definition of mocking. He's saying that like making fun of something or something in a cruel way. What's derisive mean? Mocking us says, what does mocking a person mean? Derisive. Like demeaning, derisive, expressing contempt or ridicule. Okay,
so like mean.
Yeah. So mocking something, and I like if you go into like a lot of the COVID like mask things, were like these. You have to mock this because it's so silly, like. Going into a restaurant, you got to wear your mask. Once you sit down, you can take your mask off.
Yeah.
Every 10 people out of 10 would go, hey, this is so insane. For us to survive as a culture, we have to mock this, right?
Yep.
Like Joel Osteen to have like a mega church and then find like bricks of $100 bills in the wall of the bathroom is like,
yeah.
We gotta like make light of this, otherwise we're gonna go insane.
Right.
Or the first one everyone comes to as a comedian is the side effects for the prescription that are worse than the prescription.
Right.
So you watch it and you go, all right. So if I take this to solve my laryngitis, I could have suicidal thoughts, possibly death.
High blood pressure,
depression, high blood pressure. I'm possibly going to amputate both of my legs. You're like, good. You just go. And a lot of the things that are mocked are like trends. So like the Enneagram is so like when the Enneagram started and people were like, this is like kind of helpful to like guide do you know what the Enneagram is?
Yeah.
It's like a personality test.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this is kind of helpful to like guide helps in my relationship or my strengths and weaknesses. Then it becomes larger than life, and people are like, what Enneagram is your dog? And you're like, okay, now
there's the line.
Or like what Friends characters, or like what Enneagrams were Friends characters, or like Enneagram types at a football game. Like, okay, now it's become this needs to be mocked.
Yeah.
It's like Bass Pro Shop, any trend, people that are gluten-free, people that are vegan, people that, and I would, this is going to be, I don't know how this is going to be taken, but like transgender is what you consider a trend. Nobody was when we were growing up, and now everybody is. So you go, all right, we not mocking a person, but you're mocking, like, okay,
yeah,
like a guy like the guy for the Falcons, 5th sports reference in this pod, baby.
Wow,
he got suspended for a year for Calvin Ridley for gambling, and then Deshaun Watson gets suspended for 11 games for that. Has to be mocked,
right?
You have to just be like, I would say even my personal behavior in 2019, what I was, that should be mocked.
Yeah.
You go, this is, you got to, like, mocking is something is like, and that's what he was on the Babylon Bee saying. Once things are, you can't mock them anymore. That's the scariest part.
Yeah. And I think too, it's like for 2 reasons things need to be mocked. One is because it's fun. It's funny.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, let's have fun with that. But 2, that's often the most effective way to get a point across is pointing it out with humor.
That's sometimes that's the only way.
Yeah.
Like what comics have been doing with this, like, with like the abortion topic is wild.
Yeah.
What Schultz and what Bill Burr.
I thought Bill Burr's was hilarious.
I mean, that no one else can say that except a comedian. And I feel that is, I mean, we can't play him. We could play him, but yeah, I don't think, if you haven't seen him, look up Andrew Schultz on abortion and Bill Burr. It's just like, my goodness.
Schultz was Schultz this is a you, like,
he goes, y'all.
Yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
What do you mean, y'all?
That's unbelievable.
They were very clear on whose decision this was. Yeah. Go watch the whole thing, man.
And then Bill Burr, you can look it up, Bill Burr, and it's Red Rock special on it. But you go, we or like, whatever politician, he says one thing, or like, and then you go, like, when Nancy Pelosi goes like, hey, we got to shut down all the salons. And then she's in one.
Yeah.
We're not saying you're a bad person. We're just saying, come on. And that's the way of keeping the whole society honest.
Yeah.
And you get places like that are more like domineering in their government where you can't speak out. And that's the scariest place to be.
What did you think about let me find out what that guy's name is in a second, the Babylon Bee guy. But when he was
Seth.
on there, he was saying, he was kind of putting like the responsibility on comedians and saying it's your job to find these things and to poke fun at them and to pick to have no holds barred for any topic or any demographic or anything like that.
Yeah.
Rogan kind of pushed back on it a little bit and was like, well, our job is to be funny.
Yeah.
And like there was a weird kind of confrontation there. I felt what were your feelings on that?
Well, I mean, it has to be funny. It has to be funny first, or no one's going to come to your show. Or no one's going to come to your show. No one's going to watch your stuff. You were saying you're a comedian in your bio. That has to be number one. And Bill Burr could say, but like Bill Burr's take on abortion is like true, but mostly funny. No, funnier than true. So you get like the combination of truth and humor that's what's going to share. Yeah. Is you got, oh my goodness. Like the Enneagram bit that I posted, the whole thing is just tagging people. They're just tagging their friends. Yeah. And what is that? You watch it, you know a person that loves the thing, and you go, hey, you got to see this. Yeah. And everyone, by the way, everyone that posted, because I made fun of a girl that was like a 3, an Enneagram 3. Everyone that was reposting, like, I'm a 3 and I didn't deserve to be attacked, or like joking in it, they're sharing it. Right. But in a way, they're mocking that person, but they go, I'll give it to you. Right. Fair.
Yeah, both sides get unified on it because
they go, I did not deserve to be like attacked this early in the morning, but then with the like smiling emojis. And you go, oh, okay. So we're all, so the like when I was mocked for my behavior, I go, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. I go, yeah. No, fair. But that it has to, like, once something becomes like Can you pull that up? The once something becomes.
His name's Seth Dillon. By the way.
Pull up the notes, the show notes. Oh, because I have like all these things that are like, mini libraries. We can talk about that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
We have an update on the mini libraries. I wish we didn't have updates on the mini libraries, but we keep having them.
Coming.
All right, essential oils. At the beginning, people were like, "Hey, I got a stuffed up sinuses. This seems to help."
Yeah.
Hey, I am a little. I get tired in the afternoon. I put some peppermint under my nose, and you go, sure.
Yeah.
And then you get like someone that has 97 over, like, I put essential oils in my gas tank and it improves miles per gallon. You go, oh, okay, now I'm sorry, but now we have to, now we have to mock it.
Yep.
Because it wasn't mockable until it became bigger than it was necessary.
Right.
But all these things that I've written down all started at like a good place.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is the Toyota Prius.
Right.
Somebody was like, hey, these trucks are putting a lot of gas into the environment or emissions, or it's bad for in that. Oh, we'll create a electric vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody goes, it sounds good. And then it became a trend. And someone that didn't care about the environment or miles per gallon were just like, oh, driving a Prius is a personality.
That's a good way to say it.
And now we have to mock it.
Yeah.
Because we're not mocking people that are celiac disease.
Mm-hmm.
We're mocking people like, I'm gluten-free. Like, you're not.
Right.
When it becomes bigger, the trend is, what's the definition of a trend? Something, I would say, let me think the definition of a trend. Something that started off the general direction in which something is developing or changing. An upward. It's not the trend. Like a change or develop in a general direction. All right, that's not really a definition. Like a
no, it's not like a cultural.
How does something become a trend?
A trend is. Let me do a cultural trend.
Yeah, that's a better. Try it by the meaning. Just been automatically has worked hard. A trend. They're talking about trend like on a graph or something like that. Yeah. Basically, if you get, I'm trying to think of like Carhartt, perfect example.
Yep.
Like a fashion trend, and like Carhartt started off a working man's brand, right?
Yep.
These guys that are on farms, they need something a little bit more durable. And then it became, now it's in like malls, and like hipsters are wearing like overalls, and now we have to, back to his point, now we have to mock it because it's become, that's not what it was intended for. It's like, oh, you're making fun of Carhartt. No, we're making like or Bass Pro Shops. Oh, this guy wears a Bass Pro Shops, and he's big on TikTok. You're like, you making fun of Bass Pro? No, it's Bass Pro started reasonably.
Yeah.
It started with a guy
outdoor brand.
Yeah, and they were like, and then it became into the mainstream, and now you see like Instagram moms with the kids wearing Bass Pro Shop that had never, me included, by the way, never picked up a fishing pole in their life, and now we have to mock it.
Yep.
I was not big, but like last year I was the first guy, I think, and people still send it to me. I would say daily. Still, I started mocking charcuterie. Which is silly, but I started seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, are you making fun of charcuterie? No, dude. What I'm making fun of is now there's like candy charcuteries and like charcuterie parties and like charcuterie bowls and like charcuterie cups and like charcuterie bars. Yep. And you go, okay, now unfortunately it's become bigger than what its intent was. And everybody that's jumping on it now is just trying to cash in on the trend.
Right.
So like
another one would be like CBD.
Perfect.
It's in everything. Like everything is CBD now.
But CBD, what was the start of it?
Well, it's a great, I think, therapeutic.
Yes.
Like it helps in a lot of ways on that side of the fence.
It helps people sleep.
Yep.
It helps what
inflammation.
All the benefits.
Yeah. Anxiety.
You probably be a little bit more laid back, and you'd be like, and then now you have like CBD popsicles. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but that's, and then so I make a joke about charcuterie, and everybody goes, "Thank you." So it must have been in the subconscious of everyone else too, because I was the Enneagram joke I posted last night.
Yeah.
I made fun of the Enneagram, and then I had a joke on the back end of that bit that I didn't know what the Enneagram was, and my sister goes, John, I got a perfect girl for you. This girl's a 9. And I was like, what's up?
Yeah.
And then I got out to this Chili's or whatever I said in the joke. I got out to this Chili's, and this girl was not a 9.
Yeah.
This girl was a 6 at best. I don't remember what I said. But listen, I thought I was sitting there before I uploaded that. I go, this might be a little, I was like, I think I got a supermodel. I got a peacemaker or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you ever had that before you post a piece of content? You're like, am I going to get,
yeah.
You have,
I think it's a healthy question.
Very healthy. and I, right before that Chick-fil-A wings video, I sent it to my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hey, can you just, like, I think, but the only reason I sent it to her is because I kind of thought.
Yeah.
And I thought it might be racially unfair.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a couple scenes in there that were like, I'm not trying to say this is a black neighborhood. I'm not trying to say I said it's the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say it was like, I was like, I'm going to avoid saying like thugs or avoid saying like ghetto, because ghetto entails it's a poor neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But I just said the hood, and the hood is short for neighborhood, but everybody kind of knows what that means.
Everybody knows what that means.
I said this Chick-fil-A is in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
But it's downtown. But anyway, so I was like, does this come across in any type of way?
Yeah, I know I have no malintent here.
I don't, but
tell me,
can you watch this? And
yeah.
she was like, well, send it to somebody like they were black comic friends and see if it rubs them any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right. So like the Enneagram bit, I was like, this girl, and I go, this might seem a little maybe like sexist or like it obviously has no intent for that. And I go, what helps the bit is I did it in front of a live crowd and the crowd is give you an applause break.
Yeah.
So if someone's like, they're like, all right, I must be wrong because everyone here thinks this is hilarious.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it turns out, just like probably like The Office, the Enneagram, but there's a lot of people that said, what's the Enneagram?
Interesting.
So a lot of people don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like the coming on the back end of its, I think on the back end of its trend.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that?
I mean, I think they come out with new personality tests every like 10 years.
Yeah,
that is
the
like,
Enneagram,
this is the new standard that we use. Like,
yeah, the
so
Enneagram, I think is on, at least on the bell curve, is on the way down.
I'm sure there's another, somebody sent me one the other day, like a new personality thing. It was like, hey, try it. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, no.
So, but I remember when I lived in LA, I was going to make a joke, like a sketch video on the Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, I worked at BuzzFeed at the time.
Yeah. And
they were like, the Uber videos don't perform well because Uber's not everywhere. Like it wasn't big enough,
right?
It wasn't enough of a trend to make 5 type of Uber rides.
Yeah,
in LA it was.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, all right, so this trend, this bubble is at the top. Now I think we can make fun of it because I was like, I don't know if this seems too harsh, but it's going viral because everyone goes, thank you.
Yeah,
I thought it was getting to be too much too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, all right, I was like, and all the if you go back to that list that we have, all the things that are like, you make fun of the trend and everyone goes, thank you. That when it's become trendy, it becomes the worst.
Yeah.
It becomes the worst.
And because everybody has a common experience now. So making fun of it is more fun because everybody feels like they get it now. And
but
so,
like The Office, you couldn't make fun of it too early.
Right.
Because no one knows what, because still people in the comments like, what's an Enneagram?
Right.
But there's enough people that are like, yeah, I've had enough of the Enneagram.
Right.
So it has to kind of like the joke, like some of the jokes that we made, that me and Jackie Lee made about country music that were a little too harsh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they might just be early.
Yeah, I think that's
They
fair.
might just be early.
Yep.
That everybody goes, I can't believe that you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I bet in 2 years, everybody's going to be saying that.
Well, it's also, you were performing those to industry people who I think were the direct targets of most of those.
Yeah.
Like they were the butt of the joke at the end of the day too. So it's
and you could look
you
back
wouldn't go do the Enneagram jokes to people who are obsessed with the Enneagram. there would be no amount of time
like
that
an
could
Enneagram
elapse.
conference.
Right.
You
right.
wouldn't. Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, we can wait another 5 years, man. We still are
we
not
like this. Now
we like this.
Yeah, we're into this.
Yeah.
Now, if you could go to the Enneagram conference and make fun of the disc test.
What's the disc
or whatever one was before
Myers-Briggs.
that. Yeah, whatever way, like I'm a lion, or like
Sure.
hilarious because we're a 9 now. It's like
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, but like when Cat Williams on my favorite stand-up, what got me into stand-up was the Pimp Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Cat Williams. Look up when Cat Williams, the Pimp Chronicles, released. And well, I think comics, back to this is it.
2006.
Okay. In 2006, when did Michael Jackson die? We're getting a history lesson now. You know what? Somebody should make dude, you know what'd be funny? I'm going to say this publicly. Somebody's going to do it, and it's going to be hilarious. Somebody should make an Instagram of net positive Google history.
Nice, dude.
That would be hilarious.
It's a mess. You can just ask the FBI. They have it all.
Yeah, they have it all.
I'm on that list.
Net positive Google history is a funny idea, dude. Yeah. The Pimp Chronicles, yeah, because it would be all like, we're like, wait, what? All right, when did Michael Jackson die?
2009.
2009, and when did this come out?
2006.
Okay, Michael Jackson was still alive,
mm-hmm.
but he was he wasn't, he was just kind of getting ready to go on that tour, I think.
Michael Jackson was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he died before he was, This Is It is one of my favorite documentaries of all time. It was him prepping for that tour.
Wow.
And then he died because they was trying to, whatever the sleeping pills that were giving him, they overdosed him.
Right.
But he had his own doctor in there and whatever.
Yeah.
What's that called? Anesthetist?
Anesthesiologist?
Yeah. A nurse, yeah, whatever. Yeah, they gave him too much.
Yeah,
but Michael Jackson was still alive, and Cat Williams said he was the first in the black community, the first person to ever to speak against Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson was adored by the black community,
right?
And Cat Williams, if you watch that bit on the Pimp Chronicles, he was trashing him, and everybody in the crowd was like, you got to understand, at the time, no one. And he just crushed him.
Yeah.
For all the stuff. You're like, oh, you don't. And everybody was like, basically, like, I cannot believe you're saying this.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, not in a similar way, but like the country music jokes is everybody. Now, they weren't. The difference is nobody's laughing when I did it. But they go, I can't believe you're saying this.
Mm-hmm.
And a comedian is, you can't, like, if I made it, you got to make. Like my special that came out in 2000 and we filmed it in 2019, come 2022 when we released it, it had aged a little. Not a lot, but what's important about the Bill Burr bits is like and Andrew Schultz about the abortions. This is discussion now.
Yeah.
This is big, and because everybody goes, no one really knows what to do about it. If I was making fun of mini libraries like 5 years ago, they're like, dude, this is just a guy.
Yeah.
Trying to give some books to some low-income people in his neighborhood.
Yeah, back off.
Chill. And that, dude, people send me these. This is a perfect example. People send so many of these to me about there's many plant libraries. Somebody showed me at the live show. There's many plant libraries. Take a plant, leave a plant. There's many art libraries.
I've seen a lot of the art ones recently.
Yeah, there's many dog libraries, like take a stick, leave a stick.
Yep.
And then, all right, somebody sent me this. This is just unbelievable. What is this, an article from? Where is it from?
This is, I think this might be in Iowa.
Can you post, you're going to post a photo of this?
Yeah, we'll put this up.
Okay, well, let me just read the headline, or let me read the first. A new community library project opens its first venue. Out of the Box Initiative plans to host a grand opening of its first community library located on the corner of 13th and Forest Avenue. The event will conclude music, snacks, anyone is welcome. It's the first. This is the first of many small libraries that the group plans to open. Okay. The library is I can't do it. The library is the size of a small shed, about 120 square feet. The inside houses a collection of books. It includes books of variety ages from all all right. So it's a big mini library.
Mm-hmm.
That's a library. That's what I said at the very beginning. Now it's a mini library that's big, so you can go into it. And now they're like, Okay, now you know what a big mini library is? A library. Just now you can go in it, and you know what's going to be happening pretty soon is there's so many books in here. We need like some kind of way to decide who's getting. You're like, what? You know, we should have like is there like kind of an identification system? I don't know. Maybe perhaps give people a card, and you're like, oh, that's a good idea.
Smart.
Hey, all these books? There's too many books in here. How about we should have some categories, and maybe we should label the books with numbers. That's a library, dude. Look up. Look up how far. This would be impossible. This is probably impossible to look at how far the library is from here. How far you could probably just look it up.
From where this is?
Yeah, there's a library near there, and that's what. Yeah. There's got to be a library near. It's within a couple blocks from there, and everybody pays their taxes. Just go to the library, dude. And all these books could be found in that library. 13th Avenue and Forest Avenue.
Des Moines. I think it's in Des Moines.
Yeah. That's where I just was touring.
Could have went.
Out. There'd be no way to find that. Yeah. Like, and this is when this is when it's a comedian's quote job, I guess, to roast. Don't tell me there's one like right near there.
It's on the same street.
Dude.
The Des Moines Forest Avenue Library.
I cannot. And that thing's out front. Like, just
let me make sure. I want to make sure I get this right.
And every book that's in the mini library is in the library, dude.
So it looks like Des Moines Forest Avenue Library is at the corner.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Oh my god. It's at the corner of 13 and Forest.
Yeah.
And it looks like this new community library project is also at the corner of 13th and Forest. So it looks like it's on.
It's right there. All right, yeah, 13th and Forest is right there.
It's right here.
Oh, all right. So like, maybe it's just a protest against the library.
Oh, here it is. Hold on. No, I got it. Des Moines Forest Avenue Library, the big one, like the official building, is on the corner of 13th Place.
Okay.
And Forest Ave.
All right.
Yep. One block over is 13th Street, which also intersects with Forest, and that is where this little shed library is. One block.
They're like, hey, this shed in the summer is a little hot. You know what we should do? Let's get some air conditioning. Hey, there's a building down the street that not a lot of people are going to. Let's just get into that building. Hey, seems like a lot of people are taking our books and no one's bringing them. We should get some kind of penalty system that when people don't bring the books back, that's a library, dude. And like, that's whatever Joe Rogan or Seth was talking about, like the comedian, like I just remember going to Liberty University. I did a show at Liberty University, and there was like, I want to say I was doing convocation or something. There was thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And Liberty University had just gotten in trouble for the president of the university said, I think is right in the like height of like Trumpism. Like, I think everybody should have guns so we can stop those terrorists before or something that was just way out of pocket.
Yeah, he went for it.
Way out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm a comedian and I'm coming into this university and I felt some kind of responsibility or like some kind of like burden to like, I have to make fun of this. No one else is gonna.
Yeah.
Like no, and nor should they.
Sure.
Like a band, there's a bunch of bands playing and like a bunch of Christian like pastors. Like that's not really their spot. I was like, but if I feel like everybody would like, John, you're a comedian. You went in there a month after that and you didn't say anything.
What did you say?
I made this joke about I go, we have a church league softball team, and then we play all the other denominations. I was like, hey, we played the Methodist church, and like one of the guys slapped me on the butt. It was like a gay joke, and I was like, and then we played the Catholic church. They were all drunk, very easy. We played a Pentecostal church, and they prayed for the demons to come out of me because I struck out or whatever. This is back in 2016.
Yeah,
and then I was like, and then we played Liberty University, and their manager was like, "Bring your guns!" Like very just
easy,
and it didn't go good. It's
so stupid.
It didn't, but it wasn't a good joke. But like, I had to say something.
Yeah,
that like the same with like with the Hillsong thing 2 weeks ago. You're like, all right, you're just gonna not say a word about this.
Yeah,
you gotta say something that it is and if you catch at the top of the trend, so everybody knows about it, but everyone also has to be annoyed by it.
Yeah,
like dudes that wear Bass Pro Shops hats. Like in 2016, that joke doesn't work.
Right.
And in 2 years, that joke doesn't work. So it has to, like, the comedian's kind of, it's
you
just
gotta,
like,
you got to time that perfect.
You got to time it perfect. The comedian's just kind of like coming behind and like sweeping up.
Do you think that's really funny? Yeah.
Just like the baseball game has just ended and they're just kind of, wait, what?
Do you think that there's more stuff? Like, do you think that what we're seeing now will be funnier in the future? Or do you think now
all comedy ages poorly?
No, because you're saying that some people might be making jokes early, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the Babylon Bee, he has a list of like, he said there's like a list of like 37 things that they've said that have come true.
Right.
Meaning like we joked about it and now
it really happened.
Yeah. So I joked about, I got a list, not that long, but I got a list of all kind of things that I've joked about and now they became true.
Yeah.
They're like the virtual reality church.
Yeah.
I joked about it in 2018. I made a sketch about it and now it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the sketch didn't do well at the time.
Right.
But people repost it now all the time.
Yeah.
But but in like 5 years, it's going to be so mainstream that that'd be too late.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
which
that's
is like
dance,
The Office.
right?
Which is like The Office. And that something goes, I can't believe that's every great comedy bit of all time was like just on the, like, what do you say when everybody boos a joke? Too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon. Meaning we weren't ready.
We haven't moved on yet to
joke
to
about
be ready
it.
to laugh about it.
Yeah, you know that bit about, I used to have a bit about the alcoholic drink names. I made it back in 2015. I go, the alcoholic drink names of the natural disasters of other countries. There are drink names. Like, let me get a mudslide. Like, brutal. We have that.
Yeah.
But because it's like chocolate and it's like, but like in India, wouldn't be, they're like, dude, the joke is like that wiped out like a half a village.
Yeah.
Like, or like, let me get an Irish car bomb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, that is like in Ireland, I don't even know look at what that is.
An Irish car bomb?
No, I know what the drink is, but what is the reference?
Oh, like the historical.
I think it was in like World War II. And it was, it's like, what is an Irish car bomb? Or what's it called? Where did Irish car bomb come from?
Right.
The variation of it. I know what the drink is.
No, I know this. Yeah, the headline is why it's the most controversial St. Patty's Day drink. I would assume they would say.
All right, let's see if it's in there somewhere. There it is.
The drink's name upsets IRA victims groups who remember the day that became known as Bloody Friday.
All right.
Many equate it to someone inventing a 9/11 inspired drink.
Flaming Twin Towers. Yeah. Manhattan. All right. That was my joke. That's my exact joke.
Right.
Because I go, what if? I guess in the war they would bomb these cars, right?
Yeah, it looks like it was like a very targeted attack.
Yeah.
That like, they now call Bloody Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my joke was, I go, what if you were sitting down at a bar in like New York City and a guy from a foreign country pulls up and he goes, yo, let me get a Hurricane Katrina.
Right.
And you go, what?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, the joke was like, it's 13 ounces of alcohol in a 12-ounce glass, which is pretty funny.
Oh, no, dude.
That's a funny joke, dude. Get out of here. And I go, it comes with an umbrella, but it's flipped over at the bottom. It's funny.
Nice.
Like it spills, somebody comes to clean it up, and they come 3 months late. Or
yeah.
Like, okay.
We were in Albania, and they're big fans of George Bush W over there.
You're big fans,
yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, because he went over there during his presidency.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Helped tie up those relations. And
they love him.
Yeah, and there's a bar called George Bush Bar.
Really?
And we were joking about like, what do you think the drinks are there? And we were talking.
Oh, funny.
Like,
yeah, it's like an easy
Twin Towers, and it's a buy one get one thing.
Yeah,
like,
I think my joke was like, let me get a 9/11.
Yeah,
it's 2 shots of Fireball.
aviation gin.
You'll see the first one will surprise you. You'll see the second one coming though, or something like.
Yikes, dude.
All right, so but I made that joke, but like it's not funny. I don't think it was that 2001.
I think it is funny.
No, not 2001. It was too soon for.
Oh yeah.
How many years? 10.
Yeah, the buildings were still smoking.
Even now, it's still, but you can make it like a Pearl Harbor joke.
Right.
Because that's far enough. And like what happened with Ari Shaffir is when Kobe Bryant died, he just made a joke.
Just too soon.
It was just too soon.
Mm-hmm. Corona's stock got hit during COVID.
Did they?
Yeah, people weren't buying Corona beer.
Yeah, tough. Yeah. That's silly.
That was dumb.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Tough. Yeah, so you go to what the definition of a too soon is like it'll get into the lexicon at some point.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
Right.
So there go people now, we're not ready to hear that.
What do you do with that though? Do you wait or do you just go, it was too soon on it? Do you move on?
At live show, you always go, well, I'm trying to think of what other jokes about 9/11 or about let me get a. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that happens in like any type
like,
of
do you like earmark that one as like, I'll come back?
No, I don't think anything. You just leave it. Like,
Okay.
but you do want to like when it comes true, you want to be like, told you.
Yeah,
I told you.
Yeah, share
Yeah.
that clip then.
And every single one of those jokes that I told at that country, that it will come true at some point.
Yeah.
That is wild to think about. Yeah. Should we get to should we do the shout out to oh dude, this is funny. How much time we got?
We can roll. We're at 112.
112. All right. Well, dude, first of all, I was thinking, you know how we were talking about last week. I feel like I had to mention this. I wrote it down. Everybody is a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
What did we say last week?
Dating for content?
Everybody's is looking for content.
Yeah.
At all times.
Right.
Because at the beginning, the content creators, me, that make a living from it,
mm-hmm.
we were like, oh, this would be let's go to the Iowa Fair. You're going to get a lot of content.
Right.
You're going to get a lot of content. Or let's go to the Peanut Festival in Montgomery, Alabama. There's probably a lot of content,
mm-hmm.
right? We went to the caverns, like we went to these underground like caves in Springfield, Missouri.
Cool.
It was like, get some you're like, and we talked about it at the show, gathering content.
Yep.
And we said that only the people that do it for a living, and you said, and I agreed, everybody is doing this.
Yeah. We all have a brand. That's what I was saying.
Everybody's looking for content. If you're a grandma going to your nephew, that doesn't make any sense. Going to your grandkid's soccer game, in the back of your head, you're looking for content.
Yep.
You know, you're not looking for it, but if something pops off.
Do you know when the perfect example
that's
is?
Hilarious.
4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Content.
Everybody's taking videos of the fireworks.
That's a content
You never
holiday.
go back and watch those videos again, ever.
Never.
They just sit in your phone.
Nor would you, and you post them and you skip through other people's. Like, I don't care about this.
Yep.
Well, that's what they said about that, and I think it's brilliant. Coachella. We talked about this like the first podcast. That Coachella is a content festival.
Yes.
It's a content festival.
Yep.
And they want to. They know that everybody's going there for content.
Yeah.
The bands. It's secondary. It's fashion. There's got to be a lot of like photo booths or photo where you can take photos, where you can brand. It's like you go there for
art installations to take photos and videos in front of all that stuff.
Content factory.
Yeah.
Sure. And smart.
Yeah.
But I thought, and this is what I think, well, I don't know, a lot of people relate to. I was saying, like, you know how I said, I think I talk about this in my book. My parents sent out a, what's it called? My parents sent out a Christmas card every year.
Yeah.
That was the original social media.
Ooh.
They sent out a Christmas card every year to 300, 400 people. This is our family. We wanted to be on the fridge.
They're all tagged below.
They're all tagged below.
Yeah.
And you go to someone else. I remember going out to a lot of places and people that we see. Like our Christmas card was like an iconic, not iconic, but like in there, you're like, hey, we saw the Christmas card. The Crist family Christmas card kind of became like a thing.
Nice.
That's like, but you would just hear it anecdotally. We're like, hey, we saw the card. Oh, you look good on the card. Like that was the like.
That was it.
And now it's just like backing a dump truck full of like likes up to your garage, just like dumping them.
Yeah.
That's what. But I thought about like everyone's looking for content. The original, at least in my lifetime, the original content mining your life for content pastors.
Oh,
my
nice.
dad
very nice
is a pastor.
Yeah.
My dad been doing this since I was born, dude. Mining the weekly, you got to do. That's a new hour of material every week.
Literally
every week,
especially if you're very applicational.
Not a new hour. Let's say a new 40 minutes.
Yeah,
a new 40 minutes every week.
The Spirit brings the other 20.
Yeah, you get it. At least. So you go, all right, you're gonna preach like an evangelical pastor or like a Protestant pastor. What'd you say? What the word you just said? If you're
like very applicational teaching,
very like,
this is the Bible life scenario.
This is so you're always, every conversation, every counseling, every interaction I have with my dad is like this could turn up on Sunday.
There's some good people on TikTok who are doing that type of stuff. They're Christians.
Yeah.
Who are making like fake applicational sermon things.
Yeah.
And a lot of the comments are like, yo, but this kind of hits though.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of those. I've seen a lot of those.
True.
Yeah. This is low-key kind of good point.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
those people will become pastors.
Yeah, or they are pastor and they're not. Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah,
low key. Like there's some big guys on social media.
Yeah,
do that.
for sure.
Yeah, they make fun of like youth pastors.
That is so true though. That is real content mining at the end.
That's the OG content. I mean, people were doing it before that, but in my lifetime,
yeah.
Because I thought about we would always, and now I hear pastors like, you're like, my son. We were out at dinner and my son. We walked past a homeless man and my son was like, Daddy, can we set up? Can I save some of my Christmas money? I go, well, your son didn't say that. Okay, first, that's not true.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not true.
It's a small church. We know your son. He didn't say.
He did not say that. Your son's in rehab. Yeah. But you're mining all this, like all these topics for content.
Yeah.
For good stories. I was putting my son down to bed the other night. I just say the son ones because I remember watching them.
Yeah.
And I go, that didn't happen. It didn't happen like that.
Right.
There's no way. No. Mining for content, but he's not mining it for like we. But people have been doing that since the dawn of time.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's
or just
in.
Well, I don't know about that. No, because
we're inventing it. Like that's a lot. Like stories like the tortoise and the hare. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, slow and steady wins the race. That that's not. No one sat down and said, I watched a tortoise race a hare.
And you didn't. And I don't. They were mining content, but what we're talking about is we're now. In advance, we're going to places.
Yes.
And that's different.
You're actively seeking
My dad was going about his day, and then he's like, you know what? The Sermon on the Mount's kind of like cutting grass. You just go back and forth, and you can't tell your progress until you get to the end. And you're like, look what God did. Or what, I don't know, I'm just making something up. But you go, oh, I got cut off in traffic, and I thought to myself, or whatever.
Yeah. The content finds you.
The content finds you. You're not going to look for it.
Can you imagine though? Like where would pastors?
That's hilarious.
Where should pastors go to mine content? Where would be good places where they can go to find sermon lessons?
Yeah, if I'm going to mine content, if I'm going to I go to Broadway.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind content, but I do know when I go down there.
You're talking about you.
Yeah. The Broadway, I do that. Real or fake cowboy.
Yes.
Like there's all kind of stuff at the bars. There's wild stuff happening down there all the time. People singing karaoke, guys trying to hit on women or drunk or falling over. There's wild stuff going on. The last time we were at Tinder, it was like we talked about that for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There's wild stuff going on down there all the time. To mine, a pastor would go to mine. Well, I think he would go to like the places where the people would need Jesus, not where they already have him.
Right.
Because he can't go to the church, like the nurse. You would have to go to
or the places where there's a struggle. Like I think the gym would be a good place for a pastor to find content.
Great place.
Go to the gym.
Working out.
Yep.
Going to the gym, grocery store.
Nice. Yep.
You're picking. You're trying to choose which. Yeah. There's tons of that.
Yeah.
Any type of fast food. Anytime we have to make a decision, weighted on. Some kind of moral,
all these
it's hilarious.
They're just spinning in my head right now.
You could make one for every possible thing.
Right.
I'll tell you, I parked on the right where your car is down there.
Yeah.
There's no more parking spots, but there's like a 9-foot, it's like X'd out.
Yeah.
But I parked there.
Yeah.
I go, I think I'm parking here. Because there's not enough spots. That's that's a lesson.
This is a lesson.
Yeah,
there's a lesson in there.
So
There's a whole 45 minutes in there somewhere, and it's speaking. Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen? Hey, listen, have y'all ever just been had it about enough up to here, and you want, you've been praying for the Lord to give you self-control, and now this is put right in front of you, and there's and church, look at me. There's a decision that needs to be made, and first thing, you're breaking the rules, and your conscience is telling you inside, don't do that. There's someone else. Yeah, and there's usually people in the back going, yeah. Yes. Oh,
so preach, good.
Preach. I call those churches like the massage chair churches.
Nice.
That they're just sitting there going,
I like it when pastors are on a rant on something.
Yeah.
And they kind of, it feels like they're losing people, and he goes, I don't know who I'm preaching to tonight.
Yeah, they're like, well, nobody.
We don't either.
I know I'm preaching to somebody. I don't see him here.
Please raise your hand.
Yeah. I used to have a joke about how the pastor, he's always like, with every head bowed and every eye closed, no one's looking around. If you related to my message, would you slip your hand up? And he goes, and he has to acknowledge the hands. Yes.
There's a hand.
Yes, there's a hand. I see that hand. I'm like, well, if you're acknowledging them, why can't we just all have our eye? Why can only you acknowledge them? We can't look around?
If you enjoyed the visual appearance of the pastor, slip up a hand, please. Slip your hand up. I see that hand.
And then you got to be if you're wearing nylon, you're the guy next to you can
you can hear him move.
If you go, I'm like that. What's that called? They do this on the
ASMR.
Yeah, what is that?
ASMR.
Yeah, that you go I don't know. And you go I remember in youth group, you go, wait, I think you just you open one eye.
So and so wasn't saved.
If you're wearing a starter jacket,
and you go the windbreaker.
Yeah, you go, you're done.
I want to accept the gospel tonight, but I'm wearing a windbreaker.
I'm wearing a windbreaker. I can't do it, dude. With every head, that's hilarious, dude. With every head bowed and every eye closed, what article of clothing do you not want? Yeah, because you're gonna slip your hand up, and the person next to you is gonna hear.
Worst apparel to respond to an altar call.
That is hilarious. With every head bowed and every eye closed, and you're sitting next to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dead silent. What is this? Cotton?
Yep.
All right, can you hear this?
No.
You can't hear that.
No, you're good there.
I'm 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, so
you're
that's
good. You can get saved in that.
Yeah,
I
get saved in this.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's hilarious, dude. What if you're going to one of these call and response type churches?
Yeah.
And you screwed up Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
You knew you did something that you weren't supposed to, and you're feeling heavy about it. You want some forgiveness. You want to get right with the Lord. You're going into your closet. You're going into your
get
closet.
Right shirt.
Yeah, this is my 100% cotton. Dude. This is my flannel. This is my I got drunk on Saturday night shirt. Yeah.
I might raise both hands today.
Yeah, and you go yeah, you're in I guess you can't, you got to keep your life together. I think seasonally, you got to keep your life together in the winter. You got to keep your life together in the winter because you're going to jacket.
There's more layers moving around.
There's more variables.
That's true. That is very true.
That's hilarious. You're gonna go, but also can you go sleeveless? Because then there's nothing.
Only if you don't smell bad.
Yeah,
because you raise that arm, your neighbor's gonna smell
tank top, and you got to go. You can't go.
Right.
You got to go. Slip it up and then back down. You got to also get the back down too.
Right.
So you got to come back down and then be back set, and then he has to. Oh, that's hilarious. Nothing nylon. No. Starter jackets, that's out of style, but no
puffer jackets.
No, and no North Face.
Right.
No North Face. You're gonna want to go. I don't think it's just in the it's just in this motion right here. So it's just the no jackets.
Yeah.
Zippers are gonna be tricky.
Ooh.
You want to go because women have it more difficult.
You think so?
Yeah, because there's more variables.
I feel like women. Well, if they have jewelry on too. Bracelets,
jewelry. Oh yeah, the bracelets. I didn't think about that.
Yep.
I wonder if anyone's ever thought that.
I'm
that they're
sure
just sitting there and they go, I'm full of bracelets. I'm full of accessories over here.
Dude,
I'm
anxiety
go
is real. I guarantee you.
Oh, dude, that is hilarious. But I've been there before.
Yeah.
Wanting to raise my hand and don't want everyone else to
hear
know or see.
Yeah.
Which is a little theologically wise, a little tricky. It's you're gonna accept eternity in heaven, and you can't just be like in front of 300 people like, yeah, let me take that. That's tough.
You gotta confess them before men, though. Isn't that what it says?
But we're saying only for the pastor.
Oh, okay. Because
confessing before men.
But you're fearing people hearing you, though. So it's.
But what are you fearing?
Right.
Somebody saying I screwed up.
That's the question, right?
I think the church in that way has done some people some disservice.
For sure.
That's hilarious.
So no bracelets.
No bracelets.
Nylon.
If you're wearing a hat, I guess the hat wouldn't affect it.
No bulky jackets.
No bulky jackets. Necklaces, that should be fine.
That should be okay.
You got to position yourself. You can't be shoulder to shoulder.
Right. You need some space.
You need a little bit of space, and you want to go. Here's what I would do. I would go like pre-prayer. I'd just go like this. Pre-prayer, I go arms. I just go like this, and then I could just go.
I see that hand.
And then you got to do it every week.
What if he called you out on the lazy hand slip up?
Like,
I see that. That looks like an unconfident hand.
Need it more. Run it back.
Yeah.
But then
if you mean it,
then you got to preemptively. Then also,
we are so dragging this on.
This is getting real deep. No, it's
good.
Funny though.
This is awesome.
What if you go, like, what if you accidentally move and you're not raising your hand? Like, what if you just go, you're done.
Have you ever been in church and somebody gets up to go to the bathroom?
Yep.
Have you ever been in the church where it's a public altar call, everybody's eyes are open, and somebody gets up to go to the bathroom, and there's a start of a clap, and then everybody realizes that it's not going to happen?
Backwards?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, excuse me, let me get out. And then he's going backwards.
Yeah.
That's
brutal.
Or you go, there's people at my church, there's people at the front, the ministry team they start playing the music, and the pastor's kind of like wrapping up we'll have the ministry team come forward.
Right.
So there's like, let's say 6-7 people there up front waiting for people to come forward for prayer. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that the Catholic Church, when the confessional is like, it can get a little, because humans are involved in it, but I think the idea of verbalizing your darkest secrets is a great thing.
Yeah.
Even in rehab, they would say, even if you can't share it with it, write it. Just get it out. Because you think it's so heavy, and then you write it and go, oh, and then write it and burn it. All right. And then maybe tell, like, the first thing is telling a therapist, this person does not care. And it's even hard to do that.
Yeah.
Versus like if you're going to tell your spouse or your neighbor or your best friend, because there's a little bit more, you might lose a friendship over it.
Right.
But the idea of getting this thing that's heavy on you out is good. So there's 6-7 people up there, and they're kind of, and then you like come forward for prayer, and then no one comes.
Yeah.
But then they go, but then it's like, what the ministry team or whoever's like, well, I got nothing to do with this. Is that right? Why am I taking this?
Right.
Raise your hand, because then they go, raise your hand. If you raised your hand, because there are other people you have to stand.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that era?
Oh yeah.
Stand to your feet. If you wanna, would you just stand? Yeah, I guess. But I've also seen one of, would you just open your eyes and look at me?
Oh, I like that one.
With every head.
Yeah.
With every head bowed and every eye closed. I go, all right, this is unnecessary. Would you just open your eyes and look at me? Like, hey, pastor, like, how much of an ego? Just
look to me.
Yeah, or just let it between you and God. You can say it if you want to say it.
Yeah.
And then we'll end on this, the sinner's prayer.
Yeah.
Because you got to recite the repeat after me prayer.
Right.
But then they go, all right, even if you're a believer, let's just so that person doesn't feel.
So they're not isolated there.
Because then you can't, I don't even know where any of this is in the Bible.
Like how to do that?
I don't think any of it's in there.
I don't know if that's
because then you go,
yeah,
repeat after me, say this prayer after me, that's not in the Bible.
I've been to churches that they actually have the person pray publicly for the first time and just say, like, talk to God, go, and give them no
publicly?
Structure. I've seen that.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. That's a wild one.
Wow.
Wild.
Just say, hey, do it.
Yeah.
You ask him to come into your heart or whatever, which is that's not in there either. Ask the Lord to come into your heart or to get saved.
Right.
It's like, yeah. So then you go, well, now that we don't want these people to feel weird, because then you're gonna be like, if you raise your hand to accept Christ, now you're gonna repeat her in their prayer. Now you're gonna out yourself,
right,
in front of, now around not only your row but around your. So then you go. So then you can't do it. Then they go, let's just everybody do it,
right.
Even if you already, would you join them? If you are a Christian, would you join them?
That's nice.
And now everyone's saying it.
Yeah,
but I guess they need the stats for the year end to send back to the boss.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how
we came up short on saves this year.
Yeah, how many saves you got?
Yeah.
That's tough, dude.
That's what the conferences, the pastor conferences really are.
How many saves you got? Yeah. It's like a relief pitcher. It's like a closer.
He's the Mariano Rivera of pastors.
I get
so many saves.
I get saves, bro. Yeah. I get numbers, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you raise your hand if you. Yeah, there should be like an ASMR, like a Christian ASMR. It's
POV,
like,
you're in church.
It's like, what does it do? It like helps you sleep.
It gives you like this like chill sensation down your like spine.
To help, yeah,
that
like
feels good.
Rubbing like a chalkboard. They don't do a chalkboard.
No, it's like tapping the mic. They'll do a lot.
It's like this.
It's in your headphones.
Can you hear this?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a good mic. This is not ASMR mic.
That you can do that right there. Yeah.
This is our next episode of the podcast. Chill,
just
dude.
An hour.
What are you doing, dude?
Just an hour, dude. Us having an ASMR experience.
But they go left and right, because there's two mics.
Right.
Yeah. We're gonna do that next week.
Just the whole hour.
I got a new microphone. What do you just like? You have like I watched a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's like they have like their nails and then they like do stuff.
Yeah, the clicking. Or like some people eat.
That's a little weird.
I think that's a weird one.
Yeah, I can drink out of this. That's all I can do.
There you go.
Was that ASMR-esque?
How was that, Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas. Hey, Lucas, we put him to sleep.
There you go.
Good night, Lucas. We'll see you next week, buddy.